This video is going to talk about using dialogue between our characters when we write a story. First thing, always make sure you use quotation marks. Anything that comes out of the character's mouth must go inside quotation marks, even if what they're saying is a guttural sound, a grunt, a moan, or a giggle of some kind. Whatever the character says goes in quotation marks. Each time a character speaks, they get a new paragraph. This means new line and indent. Even if the character is only saying one word or two words, they get their own paragraph every time they speak. Now, when the characters speak, please remember that we speak using a different set of vocabulary than the vocabulary we use when we write. When we speak to one another, we'll use words like on this list here. But generally, when we write, especially for a formal writing, we're not going to use this kind of vocabulary. So when you're having your characters use dialogue, they're going to use spoken words. Make sure you're using spoken words in your dialogue. This is going to make the characters seem more real and understandable to the reader. Each time a character speaks, you're going to want to make sure that the reader knows who's talking. So you need to add dialogue tags to the end. But sometimes using said over and over and over again gets kind of boring. You can add a lot more depth to your writing by changing and shedding the said to other words that will more express what the character is acting or showing. Perhaps the character exclaimed their statement. Maybe they whispered the statement. Or it could be they screamed their statement. So shed the said and add some better tags that are going to bring more life to the story. Lastly, your dialogue must have a purpose to the story. Please don't have the characters just come together and talk just because it's part of the assignment. Their discussion needs to add something to the story. It may add to the plot, to the setting, or the character development, but the dialogue really needs to add something. It shouldn't just be in there to take up space. Okay, let's do a quick review of the elements of dialogue. Make sure you're using quotation marks every time a character speaks. All of the words that come out of a character's mouth must go in quotation marks. Remember, every time a character speaks, they get their own paragraph. So if there's two characters talking back and forth, each line of dialogue gets its own paragraph. Remember to use spoken words. These are the words we're going to use when we talk to people that we meet outside. Shed the said. Try using other words that are really going to explain how that character is talking.